Welcome to the Very Online Show. In this show, two extremely online people, that's me and Lucy, explain to one not very online person.
When you say not very online, I'm not like that meme with the old lady who's like poking the screen being like, where's the internet? Like, I'm not I know stuff.
You know some stuff.
You know some stuff.
We explain to one not very online person what the hell is going on.
So depending on your perspective, it's either a show about one man's quest to not turn into the, I'm sorry, Jeff, you're right there, one man. Jeff's quest to not turn into the how do you do fellow kids meme. Or it's Tam and I trying to prove that all of the hours we spend mindlessly scrolling online is not a waste and that it's actually just us researching online cultures and communities.
Mm-hmm.
That's up to you at home, viewers.
When you put it that way, someone's gonna lose. That's the thing. So today on the show, we are going to find out why the internet doesn't want you to go to the beach.
Let's not go to the beach.
which is right on my alley because I hate the beach. So I'm cool now.
That was the perfect moment to encapsulate how much time Lucy and I spent online. We did the same.
No.
We did the
and how much time we spent together.
We did the same reference from two different angles.
Yeah, and brain rot. There you go. Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Okay, so Jeff.
Yes.
There is a link to a tweet.
Okay.
Click the link and tell me, read the tweet out and tell me, have you seen this before? And do you know what it means? Can you unpack the tweet?
Have you seen this tweet?
Have you seen this tweet?
No, I've not seen this tweet. It's from Rebecca Alter.
Mm-hmm.
It says, oh, okay, so it's like Smash Mouth. Somebody once told me the beach was gonna old me. And that's from July 24th, which is like, wow,
fantastic tweet, first of all.
Banger. Absolute banger.
Viral. It's got 2.7k retweets and 35,000, almost 36,000 likes. So,
yeah,
certified banger.
Good numbers, good numbers.
Do you know what it means? Can you unpack any of it?
Yeah, it's Smash Mouth, like the, you know, that part. I don't know the beach and the old stuff at all. I have no idea what that means.
Excellent. Yeah. So we are gonna
I was gonna say
unpack
the sigh of relief from Tam.
Excellent.
It's a good thing you should have vetted this or something. Like, yes, I have no idea what the beach old stuff is.
All right, let's unpack it, and we're gonna start by watching a trailer.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Are we there yet?
This beach, it's beautiful.
My swimsuit is hurting.
They do look small.
Come on, let's play hide and seek.
So it's a movie trailer. It's the guy from Hereditary.
Oh.
He was 6 years old this morning.
Oh no.
Something wrong with the beach.
There's something wrong with this beach.
We were chosen for a reason.
What's happening?
I don't know. I can't.
Okay.
Okay, Jeff. You've now seen the video.
So, okay. That's almost like a joke movie. Is it a
joke movie?
I mean, it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie, right?
Interesting that you would take that stance. We'll come back to that in a bit.
Yeah, I'm happy to explore that. Can
you now break down that tweet based on what you've seen?
All right,
do you have a further understanding of it?
Well, yeah, so I'm assuming it's a direct reference to that trailer and how fucking stupid that movie looks. And someone just being like, this is so dumb. M. Night Shyamalan movies have a history of maybe being stupid sometimes. I'm looking at you, The Happening.
I never watched The Happening.
No one has. No one. I'm looking at you, Signs. I also think Signs is not very good.
Swing away, Meryl.
Oh, exactly.
Swing away.
There's only one, and everyone knows the only cool part of that movie is when that
The birthday party?
the home footage of the alien walking.
Yeah.
That's the only good visual thing of that movie.
Get the shit out of me.
This is what everything you're saying is basically perfect set up for this breakdown. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Very Online Explainer, where we break down what's going on for Jeff. So yes, The Beach That Makes You Old is a meme that spawned from that movie called Old. Very recent, fairly new movie, directed by M. Night Shyamalan. If you're not familiar, Jeff obviously is, but if you're not familiar with M. Night Shyamalan, he's a prolific movie director and screenplay writer, and he has a signature. Do you know, Jeff, what his signature is?
Yeah, his signature is he's going to do a twist, and it's probably going to piss you off.
Interesting. Well, I would like to say his signature is if his signature is doing a twist and like doing things that are unexpected. Pop quiz, hot shot, and hot shot. This is you.
That's a speed
Jeff.
reference.
Oh,
I
cool.
like it.
Yeah, that's speed. I get it.
Fun side quiz. In 1999, both of these movies were released in 1999. They probably were written before. But M. Night Shyamalan wrote 2 hit movies, one of which was The Sixth Sense. What was the other one?
I want to say it's like a Dragon Ball thing or something like that.
Wow, Dragon Ball.
Or like some anime. No, The Last Airbender.
That was 2010. So this is 1999.
He did something in 99 outside of The Sixth Sense?
Big movie. You have kids. You've probably seen it.
Yes, you almost certainly have seen it.
It's also had a very big cultural impact on...
He did a really good job, or someone did a good job of detaching The Sixth Sense to any connection of that sort of thing. I feel like, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It is because the polar opposite of The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta give me a little hint.
Little is the word.
Yeah,
there.
Stuart Little.
Yeah.
Yep.
I shadily knew that.
He did the screenplay for Stuart Little.
Good for you, M. Night.
Yeah, so
it's one of my favorite random facts.
His signature is the twist ending. In the film Old, spoilers for the film Old, it's revealed that the beach that that family goes to and becomes trapped on is rapidly aging them. So while they're on there, they go from kids to adults very quickly.
I wouldn't say that's a spoiler. That's the trailer.
Yeah, they kind of show that.
Premise of the film.
Yeah. Hence the meme, The Beach That Makes You Old. So that's where that comes from. But the question now is, why is this a meme? And there is a very simple and basically a definitive reason. And then there's one that's a little more speculative.
Okay.
That I have come up with
fun.
Based on my brain rot and spending far too much time online. So let's do the first one.
Okay.
And this one uses Occam's razor's approach to, explaining it. The simplest answer is usually the right one. The beach that makes you old is a collection of words that, when you string them together, is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's a ridiculous phrase. The beach that makes you old.
Certainly.
Like, you know that old Family Guy joke where Stephen, I mean, look at me referencing Family Guy in the year 2021. But when Stephen King goes to his literary agent and he goes, "What you got for me, Stephen?" And he just goes, "Oh, this scary land." And the agent goes, "Yes, where can I get it?" That's what this is.
Yes, it feels very low-hanging.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like he did a thing of Mad Libs or something.
Exactly.
He's got a dartboard, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. When you apply the context that the phrase is actually the premise of a movie, it kind of sets itself up to be this, this collection of words, this phrase that you can easily plug into tweets as the punchline of a joke.
Right.
Which is exactly what people have been doing. So, Lucy, if you're able to, can you bring up the collection of memes? First one. Tiny snack.
It says, "Please, Captain America, you need to get off the beach that makes you old." Okay,
and it's got
then
the
it's-
picture of old Captain America.
No, I don't think I will. Okay,
That's a good one.
that's all right.
This is a very UK, but it will work. So you got to bring it.
This
open
is
it. This is very-
unbelievably good.
Oh, okay.
That is so good.
So it's Hugh Jackman.
Michael Fassbender,
Yeah, and then
James
James
McAvoy.
young Magneto, right? Or
Yeah,
young
so
Professor
it's-
X.
Young
It's
Magneto.
Wolverine, Magneto, and Xavier.
Right.
And then a picture of the beach. and then
and then
and then Hugh Jackman, Sir Ian McKellen, and Patrick
Patrick
Stewart. So
It's very
older
good. It's very
Wolverine, Magneto, and Xavier.
what's amazing though.
One of my favorite things about this is that this meme,
Yeah.
obviously not in the context of the beach, but this went viral a few months ago with, I think it was just the caption, "Yo, how long have they been sat on that couch?"
Right.
Yeah.
But that's what's
And then-
amazing though is like I would assume this was done on purpose by the talk show, right? Like
Oh, I hope
you
so.
don't
This
just
is on,
accidentally
Graham
get
Norton,
Hugh
yeah.
Jackman with like these four
Yeah.
people who are so cinematically connected.
So good.
That is very good.
What
Yeah,
else do we got?
Let's check out the next one.
Okay.
Don't want to let this one. The moment when you realize you're
Oh,
on
so
the
this-
beach that makes you old.
So is that like that's like some star? Is that Palpatine
Yeah,
or
that's
some Sith
Palpatine, Darth
motherfucker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sidious.
The heart palpatines.
Yeah.
Very good.
That's a good one.
That was from Wikipedia as well.
What?
See, the brands are getting into the meme game.
Some of you need to go to that old beach so you can grow the fuck up. That's a good one. I like that.
Very
one.
good. I like it. I like
It's
it.
very targeted. This one's they're all good because I hands like hi yes bartender I would like love one sex on the beach that makes you old.
Not bad. It's not
Excellent
bad.
meme.
Good. And then what we got? We got
Imagine being a lifeguard at the beach that makes you old, clocking in at 22 and clocking out at 79. I'd be upset.
It's fair. That would
That's
suck.
good.
right, you would be.
There's
was-
there's something that is like really giving me anxiety about a beach that would get you old though.
Yeah.
Like it's very upsetting.
This is good.
Nice.
It's the old
In the
lady
old
from
beach.
Titanic. Obviously Kate Winslet character. Is it? Isn't it? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rose? Is that her name?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the final meme. Every beach is a beach that makes you old. You cannot stop the flow of time. We're all marching steadily towards death. Which is
Good Lord.
just true, isn't it? But
Yeah.
yeah,
Also,
so
the follow-up is very Fight Club hiking.
so as you can tell, people have been enjoying taking that format and plugging it into memes, and it works very, very well.
It's
But-
perfect.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a perfect
perfect.
little dumb
Wonderful.
And that
movie idea that yeah.
yeah, and that technically answers the reason or the question that we posed at the start, which was why does the internet?
Quick show this week, guys.
Yeah.
Pack it up.
Yeah, exactly. Why does the internet not want you to go to the beach? That is it. But here's where we get rid of Occam's shitty razor and get a bit more analytical. Here's where the
Okay.
brain rot comes
Okay.
in. I think there's more to it than that.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, there are so many movies that have absurd premises that can be treated in the same way. Aliens invade Earth dressed in hideous clown makeup. And that's that movie, Insane Aliens from Outer Space or whatever, or Clowns from Outer Space.
Sure.
Divorcee actor pretends to be a babysitter during custody battle. Mrs.
Yes.
Doubtfire.
Right.
Mhm,
Right?
mhm.
There are snakes on the plane.
Well,
Snakes on the plane.
Snakes on the Plane did become a meme. I was thinking
Yeah,
like
yeah. So
there are some movies like The Meg,
Yes.
which similarly really ridiculous premise. You know, you have I get Jason Statham and Vinnie Jones confused all the time.
Oh, really?
And I can't. Oh yeah.
I think the
Like,
Meg
I
was
have
Statham.
yes.
essentially face blindness.
It's just like
for
a
them.
Guy Ritchie alumni,
Prosopagnosia.
like
Yeah.
mind
It's
blank.
like two white bald men,
Mm.
and I always get them mixed up. But yeah, it was like, oh, it's the Megalodon. You know,
Yeah.
that movie was ripe to be memed, and I feel like it
Yeah.
did, but it didn't really. It didn't have the
Yeah,
same impact
yeah.
of meme. It was just like, oh, that's funny,
Yeah,
and then
admittedly.
everyone just moved on.
Yeah.
There weren't intricate memes like the ones we've just been seeing.
Right,
Yeah,
but don't you think
with more effort?
Right, but also because of when they came out.
Yes, so many of the the ones that I mentioned didn't really enter the zeitgeist because of like social media banter, because, you know, for one reason or other, they're old or they're just not that good. And there are loads of more recent movies that also didn't become the subject of a meme. So I think there is more to it, and that's why I think there's more to it than just the original "it's a good phrase."
Okay.
And I think that is specifically because it is M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
And your response to when I asked you about M. Night Shyamalan, the way you very viscerally described his movies as a bit of a joke and him being a bit of a joke kind of proves that, right?
Yes. And look, so if I could just take a second to like unpack the M. Night Shyamalan thing a little bit. I don't want to, I hope I'm not.
You might be, so maybe you should wait.
Okay, I'll wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll discuss your opinions of M. Night Shyamalan after. But, so, let's get into the M. Night Shyamalan of it all. And that is, so the thing that put Shyamalan on the map was the ending of The Sixth Sense. Sadly, it wasn't Stuart Little, it was The Sixth Sense.
I was going to say the twist ending at the end of Stuart Little. Actually, no. The twist of Stuart Little that a mouse would be adopted in a children's home full of actual human children.
Yeah,
but no, Hugh Laurie decides, we're gonna get that, we're gonna get that talking mouse. And I have a cat.
He's true to his craft. What can you say?
Also, I don't know why I've given Hugh Laurie, who played a British man in that. He's a British man.
Who is a British man, yeah.
Hey, yo, I'm gonna get that mouse.
I'm gonna adopt a mouse, okay?
I need a talking rat.
Yeah. So the ending of Sixth Sense is what put him on the map. And spoilers for the ending of Sixth Sense. Bruce Willis is trying to help a kid who claims he can see dead people. The twist ending is that the kid is the only one who ever actually interacts with Bruce Willis's character, because it turns out Bruce Willis's character is also dead. R.I.P.
Right.
So at the time,
and also Marissa from the O season.
Yep, she like pukes up blue shit at one point.
Vomiting ghosts.
Yeah. Also, like, what's wrong with Haley Joel Osment's character? Why can he see dead people? No one ever talks about that.
No one does explore.
It's like, why can he do that?
So at the time, and even now, that's like a really good twist, though. Even though it's not really explained, really good twist.
It is,
especially if you don't have it spoiled by you on a video game or website called giantbomb.com.
Sure.
So,
sorry.
But that revelation is what made people go back and rewatch the movie to see how well it was executed, right? People wanted to pore over it and see, like, did anyone other than that kid talk to Bruce Willis's character at any time? And because of that, it became this kind of like cultural touchstone where it's at the point where the phrase "I see dead people," which is a line spoken by Haley Joel Osment's character. Haley Joel Osment, obviously, you may know as being the voice of Sora in Kingdom Hearts.
Thank you. I've been waiting for that for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, connect that, please.
So basically that phrase, "I see dead people," is the phrase people use to describe twist endings. Like, that is that good. But the twist ending kind of, became Shyamalan's signature move. And as with most signature moves, he kept doing it. And the result of that, Jeff, if you look in that document, I've left a tweet for you that that you can look at. That explains what happened. You see it there?
Which one?
If you scroll down, you see a picture of it.
Oh, in the document, sorry.
Yeah, in the doc, yeah.
Jesus, wait, Tam. No, you didn't go that viral, did you?
No, those are two round numbers. You didn't fucking.
Also, that's not my tweet. That's from Hamor Hussein, who's another person.
Oh, wait. Well, congrats to Hamor for getting verified.
Thanks. That's pretty good.
Twitter.com.
Great job. But yes, M. Night Shyamalan's twist ending.
I feel like a fucking idiot.
That's the twist of this tweet. You didn't see it coming.
No.
And the tweet reads, M. Night Shyamalan's twist ending shtick spent too long on a beach.
So you tried to Shyamalan us.
Yes, I successfully. So, in other words, it got old fast.
Yeah.
So his twist endings began life as this like unique calling card, right? And it really worked for him, especially in The Sixth Sense and his other movie, Unbreakable. We won't spoil Unbreakable, but a great
I do
movie
like that
with it.
a bunch. Yeah,
I
Yeah.
never saw Unbreakable, but
That's
I did
worth
see
watching
Split.
for
It
sure.
still
Was
holds
very
up.
confused.
Yes, Unbreakable still holds up, and that twist ending shtick carried on working for him. If you're looking at it from like the business and movie making perspective,
Right.
If you're looking at it from box office performances, it worked because even if when he was doing like weird shit like The Happening, which I'll remind you had killer plants and fucking evil trees and shit like that, his movies were performing really well. The Happening made $163 million,
He was,
but
because
Go on.
he had become that household name, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, yeah,
it did. And the problem is, in terms of cultural perception, though, things kind of started to change quite dramatically for him. Like he went from being this, this elegant master of movie making sleight of hand to basically a party clown trying to throw a pie in people's
Oof,
faces.
Party clown.
Because you got to wonder as well, is like, he made a couple of movies that had twists, and then the execs are going, hey, do it again, do it again. What
do
did
it
you
again.
just see?
And at that point,
yeah.
and that's why I say he's a party clown, because the party clown, once the party clown picks up the pie, you know exactly what he's going to do. And
that's called The Village.
Yeah, exactly. It became a predictable gimmick that he tried to pull off with goofy ideas, and it started to fail. So the turning point for Shyamalan seems to be Lady in the Water, which is basically a movie that boils down to My Neighbor is a Mermaid. And they're trying to keep this mermaid from being eaten by some other weird mythical being. So, although Unbreakable and Sixth Sense made him this kind of Hollywood golden child, and people thought he was a genius, the thing that got him acclaim also started to become his downfall, the twist endings. And people started to look for the twist endings in everything he did. They started to scrutinize his movies further, and especially the plot and the premise, in which in the cold, harsh light of day do sound ridiculous on paper, in the same way that Beach That Makes You Old does. So it's, like we said, it's...
But, I mean, I don't know, though, because, like, The Village is a weird one. Because I think ultimately the premise of The Village is quite cool.
Yeah.
I think it fails to stick the landing in a way that...
But he doesn't stick the landing.
Yeah.
The premise is really cool.
Yes.
Also, I'd forgotten about Adrian Brody's character in that movie.
Yes.
Which, don't think you...
I think... the thing with M. Night movie, like when you talk about the Signs Village era of his career... No, I don't think anyone ever doubts, like, M. Night, your ideas are, like, you have fun things going on in your head, for sure. I don't think anyone doubts that. But as you articulated, like, there is some sort of, watered downness that began to kind of happen.
So the way I
right?
think of it is, like, it's kind of like how once you know how a certain magic trick is done, every time you go to a magic show where that trick is performed, you can't suspend your disbelief. And instead, your brain is just...
How often are you going to magic shows, Dan?
I live in magic shows. You know what I'm saying? I love magic shows.
Constantly up and down the Vegas Strip.
Can I introduce you to my theory?
Go on.
It's a Shyamalan paradox theory.
Go on.
Oh, I love it.
Okay. The Sixth Sense conditioned an entire generation of people to expect that kind of ending. Yeah. Right? Where and it also created a generation of people, of moviegoers, to develop a very thorough eye when they watch film.
Yes.
And if The Sixth Sense came out in 2020, everyone would have figured out the ending by the end.
So,
okay.
So it's
Shyamalan
like if you
basically ruined movies.
Right. But
it
is the movie itself that did it.
Yeah, because it's in the very specific, and Tam, you and I can talk to this extensively because for a while, our jobs were pick apart every episode of Game of Thrones, pick apart every episode of Black Mirror, of Westworld. And it's this new bullshit way that we examine media. And so I like the fact that the Shyamalan paradox, which is also probably going to be the name of this episode, is the thing that kind of sparked it off.
Yeah.
Because I feel... You are
so
totally basically we
right.
can blame M. Night Shyamalan
and
for
I've
everything.
That's part of this kind of whole thing. Like I was saying with the magic trick, like because you can't suspend your disbelief, or you can't, we're now trained to look at movies in a specific way because of the twist endings, you fixate on the kind of signs that, or anything that demystifies it. So, and his movies specifically, and most movies, they require you to kind of let your guard down a bit.
Yeah.
So they can get away with some nonsense and then have it pay off in the end in a wacky way, but like have that shock moment at the end. But if you're constantly looking for it, it's never going to happen. So that's part of it. The other problem in the kind of, let's call it the downfall of Shyamalan, was he started to drink his own flavouring. At least
Thank
when
you
it came,
for getting the brand right.
yeah, in this house we get the brand on using atrocities correct. It's not Kool-Aid, it's flavouring.
I think I read somewhere that Kool-Aid actually had to have a really like they had a massive issue with it. Well, obviously they would have a massive issue with it, but like a big PR issue because they were being misattributed to the old
beach
Jim Jones issue.
The old beach.
So before the release of The Village, there was an unauthorized documentary made about M. Night Shyamalan. Are you familiar with it?
No.
So it aired on the Sci-Fi Channel, and it was called The Buried Secret of M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh,
so
what?
it's this behind-the-scenes documentary that explores him and his life. And it starts off fairly straightforward, but then it starts to get a bit strange. So we're going to watch a clip from that movie.
Signs, sees miracles, or do you believe that people just get lucky? Well, which group of person are you?
I choose not to see the world as random. That's a hard one.
I hate this.
So random.
I hate this.
Doesn't it seem that there is a plan, an order, some kind of laws of things that we haven't quite understood yet.
I mean, in science, the water is the solution. And water's there all the time. Mm-hmm. It's in a lot of the shots. Mm-hmm. And water actually turns up in a lot of your movies.
Yes. Yeah, no, there is something... I'm not making that up. There is something about water. It's its purity and as a symbol, and in its actuality, it's the thing about life that you need. It's an essential of life. It's in religious ceremonies. It's in everything.
Right.
You know, that's from the beginning of time. It's been a kind of a
And this is why he made
baptism of some kind. You know.
You personally, I mean, do you ever think about water at all? Or, I mean, water seems like an important symbol to you.
Slightly concerned.
We actually went back to some of your, the neighborhoods you grew up in. And it was interesting because reading the notes, talked about you living in Wynwood and then moving to Penn Valley and all that, but there was actually a different house. You'd actually come from the country right before you moved to Penn Valley, and for 2 years you lived in a different place, sort of further out Westchester way. Do you...
I forgot that one. Yeah, we just did a little bit. We were there. I just try to remember. We stayed much longer in the other, in Wynwood.
Why is he having such a hard time,
it was like 2 years of your life, though.
Answering questions?
The thing about this documentary is 2 hours long.
Yes.
Like, there is a 10-minute skit that you could do on Funny or Die or SNL. And yet, this man has the audacity to make a 2 hour long fake documentary about himself with Joaquin Phoenix, Johnny Depp clip.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
So they talk about him doing something in a house that he also lived in, but
Wait.
Storms out.
Wait.
Okay.
Okay, I have questions.
So there's more things in there, like Lucy mentioned. So there's a bit where his teachers talk about he was never sick. He never got sick as a child.
Okay.
There's a childhood friend who talks about how he changed his name at some point. That necklace that he's wearing in that clip, he says it's got a little parchment in there with Sanskrit text on there that was given to him by his dad to protect him. And there's like production members, crew members who have worked with him say that whenever he was around camera equipment, it would malfunction in weird ways, like the audio did in that clip. Yep. They also recount this event where he died as a kid for around 30 minutes when he drowned.
Okay.
And that's why he's obsessed with water in his movies. And also, so he's presented with this connection to supernatural as a result of it. And that's why he's so good at exploring it in his movies. So, Jeff, what do you want to get off your chest?
No, I just didn't realize like what this was. I thought someone was trying to make a documentary about him.
Well, that's exactly what happened. That is an unauthorized documentary.
But it looks like he is very much telling a tall tale about himself. Like that's what it is. It has to be. There's no. I promise you, that's what it is. He's all about it. He is a.
Well, Jeff.
Yeah.
You are correct.
Okay.
It turns out the documentary was a hoax.
Yeah.
And Shyamalan was behind it. He commissioned the documentary.
His shit. That is so his shit.
Why would you commission a documentary about yourself?
This was shortly before the release of his movie. So it's basically a marketing, but it's 2 hours long and it features Deepak Chopra, Adrian Brody, and Johnny Depp and various other people like talking about how he's this weird, mysterious movie-making savant. It's like some top-tier, indulgent Hollywood trolling / banner.
It seems kind of fun, and I'm sure it was when it came out. Like, what year is this?
I mean, that's the thing. So it was very self-serving and kind of egotistical. And I personally think, and I think that left a bitter taste in people's mouth. Like no one, at the time when it came out, like no one likes to be duped anytime. But like back then, people were way more susceptible to urban myths and legends. And like, you know, Bigfoot and all that, you know, UFO stuff, the X-Files trades off of it and that kind of stuff. But they're also less inclined to laugh it off when that gotcha moment happens. Like right now, we're a generation of people that has grown up on the internet. So when someone goes, gotcha, we go, oh, you got us. Fair play, laugh it off.
Unless it's about like QAnon. Anti-vax shit. But that's, you know, let's take that, put it over
there. Like, So, but like back
internet
then,
bans, like Jimmy Kimmel, when that video went viral and it was like someone falling over or something, and then it turns out it was a Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon, like they'd set it up to try and make it go viral. And so when it did go viral and then it was revealed that it was Jimmy Kimmel, everyone was like, hey, because even though they were duped, it was, you know.
Right, it's like a Nathan for you situation. Like,
exactly. Back then, people were this wasn't happening all the time. So like this kind of stuff, people would take it very seriously, like conspiracy theories and that kind of stuff, or like the spiritual stuff had a way higher chance of landing and sticking. So that's kind of what happened. And then the compounding problem was when The Village, which is the movie the doc preceded and was kind of designed to market, came out and it turned out to be a bit shit. I think that's what really twisted the perception around him. And since then, he's kind of become this punching bag and a movie meme in his own right. Like the moment I mentioned him, you reacted by throwing verbal hands towards him. That's exactly how everyone reacts, right? And it's reached a point where his name is often not at the front and center of his movies. Right. I mean, we had a situation where that was the case with Stuart Little, but that was mainly because they wanted to preserve the air around him. He worked on a certain type of movie, and it wasn't one about a talking mouse. After Earth, for example, the Will Smith movie, that is an M. Night Shyamalan movie, but he's never mentioned at any point in relation to it. A lot of the marketing tries its best to remove him from his work. His name is basically poison because people react the same way that you do. On top of that, my man really fucked up Avatar: The Last Airbender. This sounds like a very like drastic pivot, but Avatar: The Last Airbender, the animated show, is a pop property that very online people and people that make up the social media hive mind and the tastemakers and the people that generate memes and push them around, they adore it. It's like beloved on Tumblr, beloved on every social network. It is universally considered one of the best shows of all time. And he fucked it up really badly. Coincidentally, Avatar was suggested to him by his kids. And this movie, Old, actually was inspired by a graphic novel that one of his kids gave him for Father's Day. The graphic novel is called Sandcastle. It's from an award-winning French documentarian called Pierre-Oscar Levy, and it's illustrated by a Swiss comic artist called Frederick Peters. And it's by all accounts extremely good. But this is the movie that came out of it.
Right.
So,
and the movie is called Old.
yes, exactly.
That's
But
the
it's like
problem.
you have that line, and it's like, can you imagine being an actor and you are given a clanger of a line? Because that's what it is. It's a fucking clanger, which is, there's something wrong with the beach, or this beach makes you old. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
you could give that to Meryl Streep.
It ain't gonna come out
She
right.
would
Yeah.
be able to do nothing with it.
But I feel like his work in adapting Avatar kind of made him like enemy of the internet in a big way.
Yeah.
So that makes him another prime candidate to be memed into oblivion. The sad thing is, his movies are actually okay.
Sure.
Like
Split was good.
Split is good. Old is very divisive, but there are a lot of people who think that it's pretty good and enjoyable. They're definitely not as bad as the reactionary responses to him, and like the kind of responses that his work, past and present, make them seem anyway. But he's biffed it just enough times and in just enough particularly annoying ways that people are now going to take every opportunity to kind of make him the butt of the joke and dunk on him. It just so happens that the latest joke involves his movie being condensed into the very memeable phrase, "the beach that makes you old." And that is why I think that has happened.
That's amazing.
I like that.
He is a supremely unique story in filmmaking. There will never be, I'm sure there will be, but like I said, his story is supremely alone in its telling because of just like, you're right, like because he had such an undeniable impact on filmmaking. Like no matter how his legacy goes, right? Because I'm sure he's still got a dozen films left in him, right? Like, and that's the thing, the guy pumps out movies all the time. Whether or not
and those movies make money. They make money.
And whether or not it's like he did that Apple TV show, he's gonna be cranking them out almost in the way Weezer puts out albums. I feel like is sort of like his cadence.
And I know this is a slight deviation, but cranking it out in the UK means something completely different.
All right, well, we'll just have to put like some sort of asterisk or subtitle or something
Parental
down there.
advisory.
Jeff will say the phrase "cranking it out" at one point.
Yeah, each episode. That's your bingo card. That's the free square. Yeah, I mean, but that is that's fascinating. But
And
yes,
with that, you are now armed to not only understand the meme, but also explain the meme to other people. Not in just a simple form, but you can now be like, actually, I think it's because he tried to tell us that he died for 30 minutes and now he's in touch with the supernatural.
When The Village came out, perhaps I was very mean about it, and I was kind of mean in my circle of friends to M. Night, and I used to say like, oh, that movie is so bad that like it kind of feels like he's just getting back at people who maybe like bullied him as a kid or something like that, where I was like, that's how jacked up the end of that movie feels. But I still think you gotta respect that guy.
Yeah.
And and how he changed film, especially with that Sixth Sense movie. But he also put in place an inescapable film paradox.
He did. Good job, M. Night. I'm sorry for all the memes that are happening to you. And there you have it, the first episode of the very online show. I think we've thoroughly educated Jeff there on a very, very niche meme. But we'd like to know what you thought. Did you feel educated about it? And also, what do you think we should look into next? What do you think we should regale Jeff with? What internet subcultures do you think would be confusing and slightly unnerving to him that we can present him with and arm him to be like the most online person possible when he goes out there? And I don't know, what do you do? Like yoga with parents and stuff like that?
Yeah, when I go out with my skateboard and backwards hat and backpack.
Yeah. In the meantime, you can find us all on Twitter. I'm at TomorH. Lucy.
I'm at Lucy James Games.
And Jeff.
At Jeff Bakalar.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.